Hi everyone, welcome back to the 250 bird challenge. We want to see 250 birds this year. Guess where we are? That's right, Pelee. Stay tuned, I'll tell you about some of the birds we want to try and find today. Okay guys, we're at Point Pelee National Park. It's a spit of land that goes out into Lake Erie. Really great spot for migrating birds. We are into early June, so it's not the best time to be finding warblers, but we do hope to pick a few of them up. We have just come back from California a week or two ago, so we missed the big migration. We're trying to see what we can get, try to get us a bit closer to that 250 bird challenge. Some other birds that we might see besides warblers, I don't know, help me out here. Red-headed woodpecker is a long shot. This is a warbler, but prothonotary warblers are found here. That's something we'd really like to see.
Lots of flycatchers.
Lots of flycatchers still to be found.
Black-terns.
Black-terns are found here at the Marsh boardwalk, and we'll go there later. Right now, which trail are we on? The Woodland. So we're on the Woodland trail at the moment, but we will do other trails later today. Grosbeak we haven't found yet. What else has been found here that would be good for us?
Cuckoos.
There were two different species of cuckoo found here recently, yellow-billed and black-billed cuckoo. Let's not set up too many potential failures here. We'll find what we find, and anything extra will be a bonus. So stay tuned, we're going to take a walk around this woodland trail. Okay, so we've got the rose-breasted grosbeak pretty much as soon as we got onto the trail, so that's a new one for the year. Quite pleased with that. That's a bird I quite like. Early on, when I first started kind of being interested in backyard birds, a rose-breasted grosbeak came to the backyard and I didn't know what it was when I was kind of first starting out, so I quite like those. There are a few frustrations. The leaf cover is out in full force, so it's really difficult to get eyes on things, and if you've been watching this series you'll know that we don't count things that we only hear. We have to see the bird for it to count on our 250 bird list. So there are some species that like to hang out high in trees. That would be some of the vireo species that we still haven't seen yet. The only vireo we have seen in the east is the warbling vireo. We saw a Hutton's vireo in the west, but there are red-eyed, Philadelphia, etc. vireos. We're hearing them, it's frustrating, but we can't see them. They're high up. Another bird that likes the tops of trees is the great crested flycatcher. We're hearing that, can't find it. Just way too much leaf cover. So every time we kind of come to an opening, we kind of have a look around, and that gives us a greater opportunity. Hasn't happened so far, but stay tuned. Anything we find, we'll try to show to you guys. We're still on the lookout for any warblers. Haven't heard any yet, but we're really hoping for a prothonotary warbler. That's one of the reasons that we came down this way. So stay tuned, we'll keep trying. Prothonotary. Okay guys, we're coming up to the end of the Woodland trail now. We'll move on to another trail shortly. But yeah, very pleased to see the Prothonotary warbler. I'd be disappointed if we came all this way and didn't see that. That was kind of the purpose of this trip. And I think we saw 3 new birds for the year on the course of that trail. Prothonotary warbler, rose-breasted grosbeak, and there was something else.
Great crested flycatcher.
The great crested flycatcher. Thank you, Sarah. Okay, stay tuned guys, we'll be back in a moment. Ontario is home to 2 species of toad, the American toad and the highly endangered Fowler's toad, which only exists in 3 locations in Ontario. Having never seen a Fowler's toad before, I was hopeful this might be one. The 2 species look very similar, but on closer inspection and with the knowledge that Fowler's toads haven't been seen in Pelee for over 70 years, it was of course an American toad. We decided to move on and took the park shuttle service to the tip of Point Pelee.
Savannah and Beach. Once the shuttle has arrived, feel free to walk down the trail to the tip.
Okay guys, we've decided to take a visit to the tip. It's the most southern point in mainland Canada. It's the most southern point in Canada, aside from Pelee Island, which is a bit further south, which we don't have time to visit unfortunately, but it is pretty cool. We've been there before. We're going to see if maybe we can find some shorebirds down at this kind of sandbar that reaches out into Lake Erie. It's just a few hundred feet further down this trail. We returned from the tip and visited the Marsh boardwalk. It was too windy to record any speech, but we walked the trail scanning for any birds we might find. Barn swallows commonly nest at the lookout platform at the beginning of the trail, and they're quite used to the comings and goings of humans, allowing you to get quite close. We did see a new bird, one that we had hoped for on this trip. Black terns also breed here at Pelee. They're a species of concern as, once again, their habitat is under threat. Otherwise, it was getting a little hot and humid, so we just saw a couple of swamp sparrows. Nice rufous-headed, my friend. And a lot of common yellowthroats. We decided to move on from Point Pelee Provincial Park and move on to the nearby Hillman Marsh. It was still too windy, so I'll keep blabbering on here. Hillman Marsh is a great little spot for a variety of species, but in particular waterfowl and shorebirds. We're doing alright for ducks, but not so much with things like sandpipers and plovers. We only have maybe 4 or 5 and could really do with getting a few more to stand a chance of hitting our 250 bird goal. When we arrived, we first saw a killdeer, a pretty common plover that has adapted well to living in urban areas, so we'd already seen lots. Hillman Marsh is quite large if you don't have a scope. It was fairly quiet today, but we did see a single bird on the opposite side of the marsh. Can you tell what it is? We couldn't from our vantage point, so we decided to try to get closer. We flushed the bird a couple of times, but eventually got eyes on it. A black-bellied plover, and a new bird for the year, making the drive to Hillman Marsh was worth it. It was time to leave now. We thought about stopping at Long Point Provincial Park. It's kind of on the way, but quite a big diversion, and it was still quite hot and humid. There's a few places just outside of Long Point that you can stop to explore. We visited several spots and saw a few different birds. A belted kingfisher, an eastern kingbird, and a new family of Canada geese. Plus, more black terns, lots of great blue herons and great egrets. We did see one new species. We stopped at Long Point Bird Observatory, and towards the end of their trail, they have a nest house for purple martins. That's all for this video. If you enjoyed watching, please give me a subscribe to follow along with the rest of this 250 bird challenge and any other nature, hiking and wildlife videos. We're getting close now, but it's getting harder to find new birds to get us over the line. As summer comes to a close, birds are beginning to leave, and we really need some shorebirds, maybe some flycatchers, and we still don't have a ruby-throated hummingbird, no scarlet tanager, and a few others that will be leaving Ontario soon. I appreciate your likes and comments on this video, it helps people to find the channel. Thanks for watching to the end, and happy birding.